Hey everybody, it's Pajama Life with our review of Severance, Silo, and Skeleton Crew. Let's start it now.
Everything they told you about Severance is a lie.
I give consent to sever my memories between my work life and my personal life. My wife.
She's alive!
Welcome back, Marcus. Been a minute. What you all did was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
What the hell?
Okay, so we're not in trouble?
I don't think so. Milchik said we're famous.
All of us equally, or one of us is like the star?
Goodbye, Marcus.
Wait!
Oh boy. Hey everybody, it's Pajama Life. And here with me are these two guys celebrating the Chiefs win. Patrick, say hey to the people.
Hey everybody! Yes, we are here in Chiefs country, as I am in Kansas,
Chiefs.
and I know you guys are on the East Coast and are probably looking for the Baltimore Ravens to do well next week. All the people on that in those neighborhoods, good luck on that. I mean, get past the Bills and come talk to us. Then great game. Glad to be here. Glad to talk about some of this stuff we got coming up.
All right. And my wonder twin right here. Say hey to the people, David.
Hey, everybody. Great to be with you tonight. As cold and as chilly as it is out in the East Coast, there's nothing better than to be with friends and talking about these TV shows. So sit back and let's see what happens.
All right. So let's start with Patrick. What did you think of being back on the severed floor?
You know, this is absolutely one of the most original, well-done shows on TV right now.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started watching it, I did, and I would recommend anybody who's listening to us, and if you want to see this, rewatch the first season because it really helps flow back into what's coming up. Because otherwise, you're going to be like, wait, you're trying to figure out where the drama was, and it's really interesting to see where everything's going. I mean, this is so original. I mean, the other stuff we're going to be talking about is kind of derivative. Again, we have, a dystopian, post-apocalyptic thing. And then we've got, the Goonies part 2, but whatever. I love this. I love the way it's shot. The hint of menace throughout everything, even in the more light moments, is just absolutely chef's kiss. Do love this show quite a bit, and like I said, everybody is cast really well. Everybody does great performances. I'm just really interested to see how it goes, but I will probably hold off because I find it a lot better if I watch the whole thing at once, because otherwise you're always like, I gotta figure out what happened again. So it's one of those things.
I gotta watch it every week a couple of times to understand it.
Watching it straight through is a great experience. Like I said, the past day I went through the first season, and it really does help get you right back into it, because it's been a minute, like they said in the promo that we just saw, since you've seen it. So you're gonna have to try to get yourself back into where everybody was, what everybody's little, where they were at the end of the season, because that was a bad cliffhanger they leave you at the end of the season, and they're picking it right back up and starting into it again. So I totally recommend this.
And David, what did you think, my friend?
This is outstanding. It is so different than almost anything else you see. But once again, there is a consistent theme: the thoughtfulness, the great writing, just the great cinematography. Appletv does a superb job with its programs. I mean, they really are investing prime dollars in the sets, the cast, and the writing team. These have been fun, and it was such a bizarre opening season, and you're waiting. I guess it's been 2 years since we've seen it last. If that's right. So it has been a minute. I love, they're certainly so self-aware, And yeah, there's this menacing aspect to white collar cubicle work that unless you've been a part of it, you think it's just a fantasy. But
Yeah.
sometimes there's more truth than
Mhm.
fiction in this. Innies, outies, this is a good thing. It has that Lost vibe because you don't know where it's going. And I'm looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully it'll be right back for next week, and we'll keep this weirdness on track.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weekly, but I loved it. I was a little more confused this time around, but there are two questions I had. Now, close your ears if you don't want to be a little bit of a spoiler. So first question, is that Helly or is that the Audi that's come back? I think it's the Audi Helly. I think that she made a couple of flubs and I was like, uh-oh. Because the Audi Helly was very, very into the whatever Kier was about. So I'm interested to see how that one. And then my second one is the new deputy supervisor, Mark's daughter. Eh? I think it might be his daughter. I don't know. We'll see, because Miss Casey is alive. Miss Casey is his wife. So I wonder if Miss Huang, I think that's her name, Miss Huang is his daughter. And because we really don't know what happened with Miss Casey and why he was in the severed floor at the same time as Mark. Did she volunteer first? And that's why he went to be severed. So it's really interesting. And I miss Patricia Arquette this episode. I hope she comes back next episode. I hope she's in it. She was so deadpan, but the Mr. Milchick guy, that was funny how he described why she was away. Was that, oh, we think she had a erotic obsession and wanted to be a throuple with you and your enemy. Hilarious. What? He says anything. I just like him because he's so quietly menacing and horrible, kind of like what's his name? Gary in Office Space, the boss. But like to 10, even more like menacing and hateful. So I think in the 3 new people who were in the office, I didn't get that at all. But I think an important thing to note is that there's 200 of these severed floors all over the world. And I was like, oh my God, this isn't the first. This isn't the only one. So maybe this is in this world has been going on for quite a while. I thought it was kind of an experiment in the first season, but maybe this is like an ongoing thing. So it'll be interesting to see where it all goes. But I think we're all in agreement that we love Severance and we're not going to go to the severed floor. Definitely not. But definitely, I don't know if this is for kids. One, they might not get it, but then two, there's a lot of like language and situations, so we'll have to see. But definitely teenagers and adults, watch Severance. All right, up next is, what happens if the world was destroyed and everybody was relegated to a silo and then it breaks out? Let's see in Silo. Let's check it out.
You remember when the sheriff's wife cleaned? What she said before she said she wanted to go out?
The display is a lie.
Exactly.
You didn't really know her.
I know that she was searching for the truth. So am I. It's what brought me down here.
Lucas Kyle. Do you know what the safeguard is, Mr. Kyle?
I do.
Safeguard procedure. It's here. It's in here somewhere. How to save them. Right here. It's just the safeguard procedure. I heard my parents whispering about it. It could kill people. But that morning, they figured out a way to stop it. So all those people went outside. They didn't die. Not at first. Then maybe you can keep your silo from dying.
And you think that whatever they did could help save my silo?
Yes!
Okay.
Oh boy. David, what did you think of Silo?
You know, this is, again, I've really enjoyed this show, the acting,
Another Apple TV Plus.
another Apple show, and it really just speaks to their consistent quality. And you know, the layers to this onion. And as you go and you learn a little bit more, and then with the conclusion of this, I'm blown away by what they did. I mean, it was, you know, since JR got shot, we've had these cliffhanger seasons, and so many people are used to them. And this one turns the cliffhanger ending on its head, as we kind of pull a Doc Brown here in a way. I don't want to go too far into spoilers. Love the show, love the cast. I'm pumped, man. I don't fully understand what's going on, but I'm here for the ride.
Yeah, and Bernard is a kook. I mean, he just totally has lost it. And so I was mad when he and the judge, what he did to the judge. I was like, come on, man. Really? That was your boo? You ain't nothing, man. And I thought the very last, 5 minutes or so, I didn't think that had any place in it. So that kind of threw me off. I didn't quite care for that, because I really enjoyed the other, and I thought there was almost too many storylines going on. So it was kind of hard to keep up with like 5 plots going on at the same. And then at the end, they threw in a whole different kind of thing. And I was like, okay, now you might be inching towards that shark. So we pull it back, buddy. But I think this has so many interesting things to think about in terms of what happens to society when you have to save it, but also you have to contain it, or feel like you have to contain it. And I think just endowing one person with that much power and responsibility, of course, warps the brain. So it is really very interesting. I enjoyed it. I haven't read this book. I read the Bull, which it's based on, but this goes into another book. So I'll see if I can try and cover that, and really hope that they come with the next season next year. But you know, this show looks expensive, right? And it looks like it cost a lot of money. So I don't know, it might need 2 years to kind of make its money back. But I want to say one thing: Steve Zahn is amazing in this. And you know, from him playing goofy characters to him playing this character, that boy he saw him in White Lotus most recently. The first season of White Lotus. And then his transformation and what he does in this show is just amazing. So Steve Zahn, I hope he gets nominated for an Emmy for his role here, because I think it was something really special. But yeah, definitely check out Silo. I went back and watched the first season and then jumped in each week and watched it. And man, you're not disappointed, except for maybe, I don't know, David, what did you think? I think the last 5 minutes was kind of like, what?
Well,
I think it
it
took
was
away from the
definitely
specialness
surprising.
of it.
It was definitely
Yeah.
surprising. I mean,
Yeah. And I don't
will
want to
say
give it
this.
away.
I don't want to give it
Uh-huh.
away either. But for me, it is so unexpected that it's like, okay, I'm good with it. If it was, there's this fine line where it's like, oh, it's just that's ridiculous. That's a Scooby-Doo ending. What the heck? No.
Right.
But this was so different. I'm like, all right, I'm not expecting that. I don't know that I would have gone that direction. I'm not necessarily, and with something else, I might not even been happy about it because I was still focused on with a normal cliffhanger, what's going to happen there. So, but again, I loved it, and you're right. Steven Zahn, a guy who now lives back in the bluegrass when he's not making films, is fantastic in this, and he is a vastly underappreciated character actor.
Yeah,
really across the board, comedy, drama, whatever. That man can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he walked a fine line too in this. So I definitely really think he should be a contender for an Emmy this year. All right. Next up is David. What's next?
I believe it's Skeleton Crew, the season finale. Maybe the series finale. We will see.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Is the supervisor going to contact the Republic for help?
The supervisor is unable to risk any contact.
Damn the risk. These are our kids.
I'm submitting a petition for an immediate audience with the supervisor.
The ship is the Onyx Cinder. Zach Reynolds, the most infamous pirate the galaxy's ever known. Anything he wanted, he took it.
I have the ship, clad in armor and ready.
But Captain Reynolds scanned that alien's coordinates, kept him hid in his lair, deep beneath Skull Ridge Mountain.
I can't go down there. You worried about corrosion from the steam? You'll be fine.
I invoke my right to challenge the captain to say you yield.
You can call me anytime.
Because the starship is outside the barrier, the supervisor is unable to risk any contact.
We're gonna be in so much trouble, but I don't even care anymore.
But you should.
David, please talk about Skeleton Crew.
It's my pleasure. In my mind, this was an amazing conclusion to a really good show. If you like Star Wars, if you've ever read Treasure Island, if you thought Treasure Planet might have been underappreciated in some ways, this was fun Star Wars. This in no way impacted the canon. We didn't do anything to destroy or bastardize an iconic legacy character. Jude Law puts in one of, if not the best leading performances of any of the TV Star Wars shows.
You're crazy with that one. That is a crazy statement. Go ahead and complete it. I can't believe you said that.
He does a lot better than anything outside of Mark Hamill in Young Face that I've seen. This was fun. It grabbed me.
Andor. Did we forget Andor? Are you kidding me?
Again, as the leading guy, I love what Cassian Andor's character, and I mean that's fantastic. But Jude Law was wonderful as a villain. He was a villain with the kids, and I mean, villains drive the stories, and we didn't have some sentimental. He's going to turn into a softie at the end. He decapitated a droid. He threatened children, and he didn't want to hurt them, but he would because he wanted that gold. This was a victim of the Empire era, and man, this was good Star Wars. It stands on its own, and it doesn't ruin any other piece of the story. Disney, this is kind of a first for you. So God bless. I applaud you for that.
Oh my God, that's a clap. This movie was like the clap. It's terrible. Oh my God, this is the worst Star Wars property they've made.
Oh no.
This
No.
is absolutely terrible. I could not stand
Last Jedi. Last Jedi.
Acolyte.
kids. I couldn't
Acolyte
stand
first.
Jude Law. I couldn't stand
Last Jedi.
that story. I wanted the wolf. I wanted the wolf dude to eat everybody. I just was just totally like, this is terrible. And it was torture on my eyeballs and my brain to have to sit and watch this foolishness. It's terrible through and through. And I can't be more disdainful and contemptuous of this terrible story. Patrick?
Well, those are some bold statements considering your love of The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I sure do.
That's some bold
Love
statements.
it.
Yeah, well, that just
Wait a
goes to
minute.
your Star Wars
Wait a minute.
taste.
Hold on. I just
No,
got
no,
to
no, no.
come
I'm
back
talking now. It's
to
my turn. You
David's
already been had
statement
your
that this is the best actor of the Star Wars property.
No. Of the Disney television shows, Jude Law's
No, that's what I mean. The
performance.
Disney television shows.
Right. He was as good or better than anybody else.
the closest you could get would be Ewan McGregor and Obi-Wan. He was really good in that too. I would say it's comparable.
Lord.
Considering what he had to deal with.
But considering
Gabriel Garcia, who played
Andor,
was that his name? Was that the
really
one?
good too.
Yeah.
I mean, but it wasn't as good as I know Jude Law. Okay, here's the
Jude
thing.
Law is good.
Here's the thing that I think David was saying is that you've taken something that wasn't dependent upon other movies, other canon, and did a really good job with it. And you know what? This is how you keep these. This is how you keep these things alive. You don't just keep recycling the same thing again. And although this did have a bit of a Goonies in space feel to it,
yeah,
everything was a ripoff in it. It wasn't anything original.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Nothing.
You had the Mystery Planet, which was
That's not
excuse me.
original.
But the whole thing was this was not about about Jedi. It was not about the Death Star, and it was not about
3-4 crazy dumb kids. I like Neil. Okay, I did like Neil.
Everybody likes Neil. Neil is cute.
Neil is a dude.
This is how you develop and continue these stories is by getting young viewers involved into it. You don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Yes, there's the dark side. They're tempting the light side. This is what we're going to keep doing forever and ever. And then we start doing it really poorly, like in The Last Jedi, which was if you want to talk about the trash, I mean, the Acolyte was even better than that, I would say, than The Last Jedi. That's my personal opinion. Although I know people don't like it because it made the Jedi look a little bit conflicted at times. And that's for a lot of people that are really invested in that particular property. But but The Last Jedi was just revisionist horse manure.
It was beautiful. Let's not diverse. Go back to Skeleton Crew because that's a whole nother discussion.
Well, this
Tim Windsor is saying I'm outranked, but I'm not outranked, buddy.
He's outvoted.
I think there's a lot of people who agree. I understand they need to do something to bring another generation into it, but these kids were awful, and I just couldn't stand them.
They were kids being kids. They ran into.
Not one of them. I just was like, ugh. Except for little Neil. I want him to have his own show. And then it could be a little cutesy.
Well, to me, it was also interesting to see that what happened to some of these people that were out there during the purge, for the Jedi purge. You see that some of them fell to the wayside, may not have had the best upbringing, but they had some basic rudiments and some force sensitivity, and maybe they didn't have the best way to do this. And so was he a full Jedi? No.
Okay. Did he do force stuff? Question about that then.
Okay.
In other stories, when they've turned bad, their sabers changed colors, right? So in this one, Jude Law was a complete villain, but he was carrying around a blue saber. And I'm like, hold on now.
Didn't he find that in one of those episodes?
He found it. He have a red saber at least.
He found the lightsaber.
Crap.
No.
Oh my gosh!
He
The
found the
color of his lightsaber.
He found the lightsaber.
That's all you got. That's all you got. Okay.
No, I got that it was terrible and that they couldn't write their way out of a wet paper bag with this mess. So they
like
just
last year I
threw
did,
a bunch of stuff together.
Again,
to then
careful with that one. Careful with that one.
There's
throwing
other
stuff
better
together.
stuff out there to watch.
Throwing
Please don't
stuff
watch
together. Woof.
This was
That's
again
a bold statement
because this was clearly a show that was like focused around kids. It's different than an animation thing, and I might have framed my reference a little bit. I thought the acting was good by the kids. Their dialogue made sense for kids, and once they left the like Earth suburbia like planet, which was the thing that I didn't like at the beginning of it. Once they went to the space planets and that resort planet, like with that no kids are allowed, it was fun. It was entertaining. It was adventure in a B-level way that was okay. The Acolyte tried to destroy the Jedi, and hey, I'll give you something else. The Acolyte was very like in your face with political statements in a way that was, this is obvious and it's annoying. Here is the story. You've got two parents, two women who are together. And you know what? All we saw were two loving parents who were scared about their kid. That's great. That's what it should have been. The Acolyte tries to take a nail and a hammer and not that, you will accept all this and boom, you will, or you're a bad person. That was riddled throughout the show. This had, again, two lesbian parents who loved their kid. It was great. We had a lesbian thing in Andor. It was very understated, but it was clear it was there. And it was when you're not trying to railroad someone into something with a political statement, it's a lot more palatable and it makes sense in the story. Skeleton Crew did that and had a lot of fun in the process.
It was organic.
Okay.
Thank you. That's the perfect word, Pat. Organic.
We would agree that you two are definitely wrong. And
what are we? What are we? A queen now that we're speaking in the editorial? Have you even got my Big Lebowski?
We don't get one of those until Monday.
Yeah. Okay. So we will disagree on that. It definitely is for kids, although there can be some scary sequences for the little ones. But all in all, it's a pile of crap. Okay. So next week we have I've been waiting for this one. Star Trek Section 31. I was hoping it's a movie, but it's going to be a series, but it's only going to be a movie, so I'm kind of disappointed with that. But Michelle Yeoh, anything she do is going to be fire. Also, the new Jamie Foxx, Cameron Diaz, they're both back in action. We're going to watch that. And the new, it should probably be on a lot of Oscar lists, Emilia Perez on Netflix. So it ought to be an interesting week. And David, tomorrow is the Oscar nominations. And so we'll see what's going to come out. And then we will review Oscar nominated movies up until the Oscar show. So David, say goodnight to the people.
Everybody, thank you for enjoying tonight's program with us. I hope you enjoyed these shows as much as we did. Or be ready to have a vigorous debate about it if you didn't. Stay warm if you're on the East Coast. And to those of you in California fighting these terrible fires, you have our hearts. And we're thinking of you and wishing you all the best. Anybody who's in a position to contribute and support those good people out there, please do so. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.
Pat, say goodnight to the people.
Good night to everybody. Hopefully you're warm. It is very cold in Kansas as well as the East Coast. And we almost got melted from our snowstorm from 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So everybody just do your best, stay warm, and continue to enjoy all the TV shows that most of us like.
And enjoy the Chiefs on their run to a three-peat. First time it's ever happened. we hopefully will be able to come back with some more good news about the Chiefs and more good news about these shows, and come back and watch us. We'll see you next time. Take care.